Barb Bissonette is a local author and a proud member of Muskoka Authors Association. She has been writing all of her life and has had 3 novels published by Strategic Book Publishing: Among Little Faces, A Winter Town, and Leave a Light On for Christmas. More recently, she has been published by Walter Dragon Publishing. Her new book is entitled Just a Bit of Magic. She has recorded a story for the Canoe FM radio in Haliburton and is thrilled to read this story today for Tall Pine Tales. It is entitled A Real Man and deals with a young boy struggling to grow up and become his true self. His father is a real man, and he so wants to be like him, but he is different. He is his own being. Barb Bissonette.
A real man. It's hard to measure up when your father is a legend, a man of power and strength. I always wanted to be just like my dad. I was raised in a close-knit farming community where you worked hard and you played harder. My mother stayed home, performing some of the more genteel chores on the farm, teaching my sister the life skills of homemaking, and my father was Lord and Master. We said grace, we went to church, we were grateful for what we had. That's just the way it was. But it always seemed to me that you had to fit into some box meted out for you at birth. A girl must be pretty, polite, and pleasing. My sister Jenny, the farmer's daughter, she checked that box in full. The box for me was the exact opposite. It included being tough, working hard, never showing any weakness. No crying, boy. Be a man. Real men don't cry, my father would say. My father hadn't yet cottoned on to the new way of thinking that boys could have doubts and emotions just like girls, crying when they were hurt, both physically and emotionally. I loved my father with all my heart, and I wanted to be just like him. He could throw bales onto a wagon without breaking a sweat, and quaff a beer in one long, satisfying gulp. Even his name was exceptional, Tyrone. I was Stephen, such a plain, ordinary name. Anybody could be a Stephen, but to be a Tyrone, that was impressive. It was a good life, though. When you're a kid, you're in your own little world. You don't really realize that you only inhabit a small corner of that big world, and not everyone associates with just a smattering of people in your home radius. To say we were sheltered, that would be an understatement. At the age of 14, I had to reach out beyond my ken and start high school in a town some 40 kilometers away. There were several other farming communities also bussed into town, quite overwhelming for a farm kid who'd never ventured too far from home. I got by, though. I was well over 6 feet and broad from all the farm work, but there the resemblance to my father ended. I was not a real man. I knew it. I think I'd always known it. My father would put his big hand around my mom's slender waist and swing her around the kitchen in rhythm to the songs on the radio, kissing her soundly on the lips. I loved my mom and my sister, but they were the only ones of the female persuasion that I would ever love. Even as I entered those daunting halls of high school, at the age of 14, I knew I would never be interested in girls. My sexual attractions lay always at the door of males. Ironically enough, though, I liked girls. I enjoyed their company. Perhaps because I understood their feelings, I found them easy to talk to, and I developed many female friendships. My father heard about this and heartily approved. My mother always wanted me to bring a girl home for supper. I did this more than once, but my relationships never developed much past that, much to my mother's chagrin. I particularly bonded with an outgoing girl in my class, Melanie. I asked her to the summer dance, and she accepted. As the dance began winding down, we wandered onto the grounds, each of us holding a beer, chatting lightly about superficial things. Melanie stopped, suddenly serious, and gazed intently into my eyes. "Steve, you like me, right?" I felt my heart pounding in my chest like a trip hammer. Oh, here it comes. She wants something I can't give. Oh, crap. And I really do like her, too. Of course I do, I answered, attempting to steady my voice. We'd reached the old wooden fence. She leaned over it, taking my free hand in both of hers. What's up, Mel? I asked, wary. I like you, too. You're a great pal of mine. I felt my breath exhale a little with her use of the word pal. I nodded uncertainly. Steve, I know. That's why I like you so much. I understand you. We're the same. What do you know? How are we the same? I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, let's go back inside. The dance is almost done anyways. My insides jittered in an unfamiliar fashion. I had no idea what was coming next, but I had a feeling it would change my world forever. I had never allowed myself to utter, even to myself, the words that I knew described me, and I was far from certain that I wanted to hear them spoken aloud now. We both like girls, Steve. The words hit the darkness, strong and decisive, no room for arguments. Wait, what? You like girls? You mean yeah, I'm a lesbian. Is that the word you're trying to muster up? Yeah, I'm gay, and I know you are too. What makes you think that? I strived for the most macho voice I could manage, which really turned out to be not very macho at all. Steve, I just know, that's all. I mean, here we are, out behind the hall, two young kids. We should be tearing each other's clothes off, or at least trying to, but I don't have the slightest desire to do that. Do you? I shook my head helplessly. Does anyone else know? I whispered. Nope, and nobody will, not till you're ready. I just want you to know I'm your friend, pure and simple, and you don't have to worry about me ever wanting more than friendship from you, because I never will. She put her hand on my shoulder. A profound relief filled me, body and soul. Hey, Steve! My father's big voice boomed through the darkness. Heavy footsteps approached. I saw the immense shadow of my father. He nodded at us, apparently in approval. So, Melanie and I became each other's cover story. Sometimes I wished I really was heterosexual because she was an amazing person, but it just wasn't to be. It got me through my college years, though. I longed to come out, as they say. I longed to be myself and not pretend anymore. I felt confident that my sister and my mom would accept me, but my dad, my big masculine dad, even the thought of him knowing my secret filled me with fear and trepidation. Until one day, there was a family wedding, and I had no intention of telling my dad, but I was fortified with alcohol and a certain degree of desperation and longing. Dad and I happened to be sitting alone at a table watching everyone else dance. My dad nudged my elbow, saying, Hey, Steve, look at that girl over there. Why don't you ask her to dance? She looks nice. I gulped. Actually, Dad? What, son? I turned to face him full on, my heart throbbing so loud and so hard I felt it could be heard above the music. Dad, I'm gay. For the longest moment of my life, his eyes held mine in their steely grip. Then, without missing a beat, he raised his hand to my chin and gently turned my face towards the other side of the dance floor. Then, look at that fella there. Why don't you ask him? He looks nice.